All right, welcome into First Take exclusively on YouTube. Amina Smith here alongside Stephen A. Smith. And let's get right to it. Kansas State fired their men's basketball head coach, Jerome Tang, for cause over the weekend. The Wildcats have one win in the Big 12 this season, but the firing came just days after Tang lashed out at his players following a home blowout loss to Cincinnati. Take a listen.
This was embarrassing. These dudes do not deserve to wear this uniform. There will be very few of them in it next year. I'm embarrassed for the university. I'm embarrassed for our fans, our student section. You know, it is just ridiculous. We got practice at 6 a.m. tomorrow morning, and we will get this thing right. I have no answer and no words. So y'all got two questions. So whoever want to ask two questions, I'll answer them to the best of my ability right now. But right now, I'm pissed.
All right, well, due to that rant, Kansas State says the firing is for cause and therefore won't have to pay the over $18 million remaining on Tang's contract. Stephen A., do you have a problem with Kansas State letting the head coach go?
No, I don't have a problem with them letting him go. He needs to go, but they need to give him his money. You don't get to sit up there and use that as an excuse to get out of the millions of dollars you owe this man. That's my problem. Does he deserve to go? Sure. You can't say they don't deserve to wear the uniform and very few of them will be here next year. You don't do that. That's going too far. The embarrassing part, we've heard that from coaches all the time. You know, you're in the midst of a 6-game losing streak. You're 1-11 in the Big 12. You're looking at them and you're saying, okay, you know, you guys are playing sorry. You're playing soft. You're not getting it done, et cetera, et cetera. I understand that. This is a man that 4 seasons ago, had them at 26-10, took them to the regional final of the NCAA tournament. A lot of promise there, and then all of a sudden, everything has disappeared, and they're not what they used to be, and they haven't been to the NCAA tournament the last couple of years, and obviously they've nosedived this year. We understand that. But to go as far as he went by saying they don't, it's not the embarrassing part. Plenty of coaches have said, you're an embarrassment. You're awful, but to say they don't deserve to wear the uniform and to say very few of them will be here next year, sir, you didn't have to go that far. Coach Tang, you brought him there. You brought him there. So what does that say about you? If you're speaking that, if you're excoriating them to that degree, that is an indictment against you every bit as much as it is against them because you're the one who selected them and allowed them to be in the uniform to begin with. But with that said, still in all, there's no reason, there's no justification for the administration at Kansas State to then sit there and say we don't have to honor a contract that we've signed this man to. There are coaches who have said things, and it's warranted them being fired. But it doesn't mean you don't pay them. It doesn't mean you don't give them the money that you don't owe them. I think this is an excuse that Kansas State's administration is trying to utilize to get out of paying the man his money. And we can't let them get away with that. He deserves his money. You signed him to a contract. He didn't quit. He didn't say he wasn't going to coach him. He didn't say that he was going to lose intentionally or anything like that. All he did was speak out at a press conference. That's all he did. And for that to be a fireable offense is one thing, but not to the degree that it allows you to get out of the financial commitment that you made to him. That's very slick. That should not be allowed. Whatever buyout clause package he has in there, he's supposed to walk away with some of that money. There is no question about that, and he should fight that.
Look, and speaking of money, NIL money has changed the landscape of college sports. Should college athletes be criticized, though, like pro athletes?
Well, it depends on how they perform. They're not children. They're not grown men and deemed professionals as of yet. But that transfer portal, that NIL, well, now it's legit, bona fide, direct dollars that are going into their pockets. It's what they've wanted. It's the system that they've adopted and embraced. That's what comes along with it. Listen, I come from an era where, coaches slap you upside the damn head for crying out loud. They make you run suicides until you throw up. There's a lot of things they could do to you, okay, that they don't necessarily do in this day and age. We've become a bit too soft as a society, even though it's a bit egregious what Coach Tang did, and it's a bit excessive, no doubt about it, let's not act like it's foreign. I can't tell. I covered John Chaney at Temple, God rest his soul. I can't tell you some of the things I heard him say to players. John Thompson, ask Allen Iverson, ask Dikembe Mutombo, to God rest his soul. Ask Alonzo Mourning, ask Patrick Ewing, the kind of things that he has said to some athletes. Nolan Richardson, John Calipari, the list goes on and on. There have been an abundance of coaches. Let's just say some things that they say customarily, flowing off their tongue with ease, was not fit for FCC airwaves. It comes with the territory. That's part of coaching. So I don't want to sit up there and go overboard with this. There's certain things that you shouldn't be saying, certain things you can't say, et cetera, et cetera. But in the end, what it comes down to is that, bottom line is that you sign a contract, you sign this man to a contract. Don't use this as an excuse to try to get out of it. You owe the man some money. Pay him some money. You may not have to pay him all of it. You may not have to pay him everything, but you damn sure should pay him a lump sum of it if this is the reason you're firing him. We know better than that.
Yeah, the game has changed so much, but maybe a conversation he should have had with his players inside the locker room behind closed doors. All right, thanks for watching.
Well, you don't even say that to them. Inside the locker room, you don't even say that to them. That's going too far.
But look, you get me. Thanks for watching First Take exclusively on YouTube. Make sure to tune in weekdays on ESPN at 10 a.m. Eastern. We'll see you back here tomorrow.